Greetings, folks, and welcome to the channel. I am your host, Coco Smooth, and today I am going to be showcasing another 1/12 scale military figure in the form of a G.I. Joe classified Alley Viper, Cobra Alley Viper to be specific. Um, why this is my first video for the G.I. Joe classified series, and why did I pick the Alley Viper of all things? When the first one that I picked up was the Pimp Daddy Destro. Reason why is because throughout my entire life in collecting, uh, I've received Joes as presents, but Alley Viper was the very first GI Joe uh, figure that I willingly bought myself. Like when I went to the store, I definitely went to get it. A lot of the other Joes I had were given as presents. Like my first Joes were the snow, like a snow vehicle. A lot of the vehicles from GI Joe, honestly, uh, Ripcord and Blowtorch. So I have a very soft spot for those. But the Alley Viper, he was the one that I wanted, you know, for myself when I saw it. I know that the color scheme's hella bizarre, but I was very fascinated in the 3-inch line with his shield and his weapon. And when I looked at his command file, it said that he was the Cobra equivalent of a SWAT, an urban, assault trooper. And when I was a kid, SWAT was a big deal. These guys were the badass cops. And in the 80s, cop movies were the big thing. Lethal Weapon, Death Wish, a lot of, you know, cop shows and cop movies. And I was like, yeah, propaganda films, and I was all for it at the time. But I like Cobra, and Cobra was the bad guys. Like, oh, okay, so they got the equivalent of that, and this is what we got: the Alley Viper. I already took them out of package. I was just so excited to get them that I, mess with it, and this is what uh, the package looks like. I'm not sure what any of this is. I'm sure there's a translation somewhere in the internet for this. You know, um, the box art is pretty much just these, the Alley Vipers, you know, kind of cool. Yep. He's pretty toy accurate. This is the box. This seems to be the box back for a lot of the original, like earlier sets of uh, GI Joe classified. So no command file or nothing. What a total! I don't understand why they didn't do it. It doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, it's very toy accurate. Um, Off the bat, though, I did switch this from the right arm and put it to the left instead because of this specific weapon, which it came with. Um, the the magazine clips in here, and it's hard to put it on this arm, on the right arm, without it being a mess. So it's still a mess, but it's less of a mess with the left arm with the magazine here. But it's toy accurate. So yeah, and the knife was here too. The only thing that wasn't in the toy that I can recall really is these brown foot things for the boots. I'm not sure why that's there. That may have been from the other Vipers, I guess, or whatever. But either way, yeah. But the color scheme's the same. The mask is about the same. Uh, Only difference with the shield is that there was like a hole here that you could see out of, and I used to use him to wreck people with his shield, like stab you, pow pow, because they have a sharp end, like, assault people with the shield. And that's the really cool thing about this version of the shield. You can definitely, when you put it on, it you know turns around like that. And of course, his mask, really cool, just like in the toy, original toy. And here in the original toy, this wasn't actually able to get out, but in this case, it's able. His grappling hook kind of thing does come out. It's actually out when you first have it, but I put it in the backpack. Hang on, get out for y'all so you can see. Yeah, But this is what the backpack look like with the grappling hook. But of course, the grappling hook doesn't got line or nothing in it. Either way, it's this. I still use it for cosmetics. I think it looks cool, just like it did in the old toy. And another thing that I don't know why they added this, but this was not in the original uh, toy. He only had this uh, submachine gun, I think what it is, SMG of some kind, right? This is a new addition. I plan on getting another Alley Viper, and I'll probably arm him with this one just to to troop build and differentiate between these two. Yeah, this is great. Right now, they're still going for uh, regular price. It hasn't really gone up much, if at all, in during this holiday sales and stuff. So it didn't go down. So yeah, I was able to get it at the regular price going rate of 25 bones. It may have been 20 originally, but the going rate for most of the older Joes have always, since I've only started getting in for the classified, have been 25 across the board, 25 to 30. Yeah, this was not a store exclusive or anything. It was a wide release, which is cool. It has all the joints that you know that work, but it does have pins since this is one of the older ones. Yeah, the pins on the elbows and the knees. It doesn't really bother me too much, but for others they'll be like, well, man, how come there's no uh they should have used the no pin system in this wave. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's not really that big of a deal for me. Maybe as the line goes on and there's no more, and everyone else has no more pins, it might start to become a problem for me. But so far, it's not. Effectively, it's the same. But yeah, I love this. This figure is really dope. It also comes with a pistol, you know, and the knives, they can actually be removed in the original toy. It's cosmetic. It's already on the thing, just like this. I think in the original one there would be grenades here instead, but I'm okay with it not being there. It's you know it's okay with all this dope stuff he has. He don't really need it, So really cool. Yeah, I like it. There's I think I don't remember being a symbol in the front like this. I could be wrong. My memory isn't as good as it used to. And just like in the original, there wasn't really a Cobra symbol like this that was that big. It was a hole here, and I think there was a small symbol on top or something. They did make recolors of these, recently re-released, like the Crimson Viper. So that looks kind of cool. I imagine for the Crimson Guard, I may pick one of those up, to do my Crimson Guard army. But so far, this is really cool. I like the Alley Viper as it is. This is for nostalgia's sake. I love this one, and I love the Night Viper and the Heat Viper. I wanted it for a minute. I was like, man, I'm going to collect all the Vipers, but when you're a kid, you don't really have all that money. And those were the three Vipers that I ended up picking up for myself that I really like: the Night Viper, the Heat Viper, and the Alley Viper. Um, yeah, I definitely wanted the Saw Viper and the Rock Vipers, but they yeah, at the time if I had money, I was already out of the country. So yeah. But yeah, the color scheme to this thing is really cool. Or maybe hokey, but I like it. It's not too bad. I don't know how they would work, in a because it was in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and the color scheme started to get more radical and extreme. um, Here's the urban trooper for the Valaverse that I'm going to do a single focus video on pretty soon. This is him with his urban gear. So these I think it's kind of cool how these guys have urban like gear. How people would imagine SWAT would be. So kind of cool, paramilitary with urban style. going about stuff. Yeah, uh, I think these guys would get along. Maybe this would look better in next to Shockwave instead. You know, because Shockwave is a SWAT, and this I imagine that Shockwave and Alley Viper would be mortal enemies since Shockwave is the the GI Joe equivalent of him, I guess. Yeah, kind of cool. Yeah, he's. They said that when I re-looked at the command file, he was the equivalent of the SWAT and the SAS. I don't know about the SAS portion, but well, I guess it makes sense since they are anti-terrorist and they are urban and they can be urban too. So, all right, folks, that's all I got for this segment of uh 12 112 scale military action figure reviews of the GI Joe classified Cobra Alley Viper. I am your host Coco Smooth, and until the next video, folks, ciao.